Hello, I am going to do a really quick video about finding information with the UD library website. Um, I'm probably redoing some of the information that's in the library tutorials, but I just wanted to kind of show you like a real life example of how someone would maybe kind of start to look for sources for a research paper. So I've just started here on the very front page of the UD's website, and I'm just going to click on library. And that will bring me into the library webpage. So I have a couple different options here just from this page. I can do UDiscover, I can do the UD catalog, I can do journals, I can do databases. So if I just start off with the catalog, okay, and we're doing popular romance, that's our topic for this semester. So I'm just going to start off with romance novels, okay. So I'm just going to search romance novels. I've got keyword here. Keywords are really important. You can change that to title if you know, if you're working on a certain book to research a certain book, you can go with title if you know an author that you want to look for, or subject. But I'm just going to do keyword right now. So I'm just going to search it, fine, and see what comes up. Okay. So just looking very briefly at what comes up. So we've got highly relevant titles, and then we've got very relevant titles. So Thrill of the Chaste, the allure of the Amish romance novels, which sounds actually really fascinating, and I love this right here, this online resource. So I'm just going to click it and see what it is. So I can get the resource from off campus with my credentials. Hopefully I'm logged in. Yeah, it's right there. So you can read it online. You can get a full download of this whole book. If you're interested in Amish romance, which is actually a thing, you can go here. There's actually a fair amount of scholarship on Amish romance novels. So, that's an option. So with the catalog, we're probably going to find a lot of books and journal names. If we want to look for something else, maybe we want to try to do more our topic. We're just going to do popular romance. Okay, so we're just switching the keyword up a little bit just to see what comes up. Okay, so we're still getting this title, which was in the last one. I haven't looked at this, so yeah, so this is kind of interesting too. Making meaning in popular romance fiction and epistemology. I can't say that word. I can again do the resource from off campus with your ED credentials, and I can just read online. So this is a whole book, and you can see the chapters over here. What does it mean to say romance novel? So you might be dealing with the definition of a romance novel there, like we've already talked about. Capitalism, if you're interested maybe in the business aspect of romance. War, heterosexuality. So this might be an interesting source for you. When was it published? Let's look and see when it was published. Published in 2014. So it's actually a relatively current source, which is really good. So one thing that I can do when I find things that I like is I can save it, which I actually have already saved this one, but I can just click this and it will save it to a list for me that I can come back to later. So let's go back, return to browse, see what else is up here. Modernism and the women's popular romance in Britain in medieval popular romance, no. Oh, what is this? Journal of Popular Romance Studies, online resource. Liking this a lot. So this is actually an entire journal devoted to popular romance studies. And I'm going to be honest, I've gotten a lot of our information from this class with this journal. So again, I can do the resource from off campus. There's a Journal of Popular Romance Studies. I'm going to click it, see what happens. There it is. There's the URL right there. Click it, and boom, this is the entire journal. So you can search within that journal then. You can look at issues specific. You can look at authors, titles, all that good stuff. So it's really, this is a really fantastic resource for you for this project this semester. Okay, so let's go back here. Okay, let's go back to return to browse. Okay, so this one, Reading the Romance, Women, Patriarchy, and Popular Literature. This is actually a book that I've looked at. We have it in our library. You can actually take it out. I can't because I didn't return a bunch of my Ohio Link books, and I owe the library a lot of money, and they won't let me take out books until I pay my money. But this is something that you could actually go get. You could make copies from, you can make a scan from, you can get information from this. This is from 1984. It's a little bit older of a resource, and actually a lot of the more current resources cite this one, this Janice Radaway one. And it doesn't, and a lot of them kind of have rebutted a lot of what Radaway said, especially Pamela Regis, that we read a lot of this semester. So let's go back to browse. So here you can just kind of look around. What I'm trying to get at is don't immediately go to Google Scholar. Google Scholar has a lot of stuff, but it doesn't mean that's the end all be all. So let's try something else. Let's go back to UD. Let's go back to the library. It's just how I kind of get places. If I do the UD Discover, let's try UD Discover. And I'm just going to look for romance novels. And we'll see what comes up. Lesbian romance novels. Okay, so again, like the Amish, homosexual romance novels are definitely an area of research. I think we're gonna read an article later in the semester about homosexual heroines in romance novels. But if this is something that you're interested in, this might be a good resource for you. You can save it over here. You can see if we have it. You can request it through Ohio Link, and they will send it to the library. You can take it out, but just remember to take it back. What else do we have here? But now we're back to the front page of the UD library, and I want to show you one way that I go about finding information. And I don't know if this is the best way, or even really, a way that the library would condone, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I'm back to the main page, and I'm on UD Discover, and I'm going to search for romance novels. So we'll see what it brings up. It says I have to log in, so I'm just going to click this, and it'll log me in. Okay, so now I get all these results. So again, I've got the lesbian romance. I've got a lot of Amish romance like we had before. I'm going to keep going down. None of this is really grabbing me. Okay, what is this? Ethic of Romance in the Twilight series, Dream-Filled and the Honorable Male Vampire. So this is in a journal called the Journal of Dharma from 2013. So it's kind of interesting. So I'm going to click on that. I know this is an article because it's in a journal. I wouldn't mind seeing if I could figure out what's in here. So I'm going to find it, see if I can find it. Okay, so we're going to look at if I can find the full text here. Okay, so you actually have to go up to the library, to the second floor in the periodical section to get this article, which is totally doable. I would totally suggest that if you find an article like this, you would do that. However, I am lazy and I am at home. I am not on campus. So how else can I find this? So I'm going to go and I'm going to look. Hang on. I'm going to copy this title. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Google Scholar. And I'm going to put that title in, and I'm going to look for it and see if I can just maybe find the text of it somewhere. Okay, so I'm looking at what I've come up with. Not seeing anything. However, I am seeing a lot of stuff about Twilight, which indicates to me that maybe Twilight might be a good topic to search for. So there's all these things here that we can grab if we want to, but I'm just going to go back to the library. And I'm going to see what I can find with Twilight. So I'm going to do Twilight Stephanie Meyer. That's the author. And I'm going to search for that and just see what comes up, because it could be some interesting stuff. Okay, so this is what came up. I had it in a different window here. Gender bias. Okay, so if you're looking at something like feminism and gender, this might be a good article for you. It's in an academic journal. It's in Logos, a journal of undergraduate research. So this is actually written by an undergraduate. It might be something that I would want to save to my list. Still not logged in. It won't log me in for some reason. So now I'm going to save it so it'll save to my actual list. Okay. Then I'm going to go back to browse to the result list here and just kind of look through here. Not seeing too much. Twilight and translation. That might be something about translating if you're interested in romance novels in different languages. Might be kind of an interesting thing to look at. So you see what I'm kind of doing. It's this idea of research as a journey that Michael Klein talked about in the article we read a couple weeks ago about the gathering information. Right now we're gatherers. We're not hunters right now. We're gatherers. We're not sure what we want to research. We're not sure what we want to look at. We want to kind of see what's out there. So right now we're just scouring, looking around. What's out there? What are some really big topics that might be easier for me to research? So, I would encourage you to not sit down and feel like you have to find an article in 5 minutes. Give yourself a little bit of time. Remember, you're not in this class physically for 2 to 3 hours a week. You have to do it at home. So don't be afraid to spend a little bit of time. And I know that you're busy. I know everybody's busy, but it's really something that you need to do if you really want to do some authentic research in this class. And I ask you to give yourself that opportunity because it's going to be beneficial to you in the long run. So hopefully between this and the library tutorials and the presentation that I asked you to watch, it'll give you a little bit of a foothold in trying to find some articles. So thanks for watching.